Grudgingly.
Welcome to Emmanuelle versus Dracula, an exciting edition of the worst idea of all time, Emmanuelle season Emmanuelle.
It's been so difficult knowing that both Emmanuelle and Dracula are intellectual properties that exist in the world, and yet never seeing them come across one another. And so what a relief it was when I discovered that someone had taken care of this huge cultural question mark and finally answered the question, what would happen if Emmanuelle was to attend a close friend's bachelorette party in a remote house set on the hills, Dracula was to be passing by, his car was to break down, he was to come by, be invited into the house.
Crucially.
And
because vampires can't enter uninvited.
Have his wicked way with the ladies of the bachelorette party.
But then, twist, that ain't Dracula. We only see Dracula at the very end, and then Emmanuelle and he engage in the highest stake fuck ever.
Yeah.
Because if Emmanuelle comes harder, she becomes queen of the underworld, serving as Dracula's wife. But
yeah,
if Emmanuelle can make him come his brains out,
then he will release.
He has to let all her friends go, which I just think is so disparate. Those stakes. They're not the same. She should have negotiated for like something cooler.
She was under a huge amount of time pressure and general pressure. It's just for clarity, because the way that we phrased it there is that if Emmanuelle comes harder, she loses the. Traditionally, if you're having sex, coming hard it's not a loss.
No, this is like a soggy biscuit style approach to challenge orgasms. Orgasm challenges.
So you want to be responsible for making the other person come as hard as they can in the world of this bet.
Yeah.
And Emmanuelle succeeds.
Well, no, she doesn't. They're at a sort of stalemate, and then that's right, he loses.
He concedes. He says,
and then he says, "I lied.
You're too much woman for me." But then he says, "I'm not known for keeping my promises." And Emmanuelle, conveniently, who is holding a stake, kills him.
Yes.
And all of the women wake up, and they're all very groggy and hungover, and they say, "I don't remember anything, but you know what that means? I had a good time." And we say,
"That's not what that means."
And then Emmanuelle's made them eggs, and the bachelorette says, "You cleaned my house, you made breakfast," and Emmanuelle says, "The eggs are getting cold." And we don't actually see them eat the eggs, but you got to imagine they all go and have eggs.
That's the whole film. Let me tell you about Rolfe Kanefsky, who is the guy who wrote and directed this film. So
First of all, is he a bigger Dracula or Emmanuelle fan? Because it was impossible to tell by watching this. I thought he gave both of them equal footing.
You're out of your fucking mind. Emmanuelle was barely in this movie until the last.
She was in it more than Dracula.
But not in the same way, because there was a Dracula stand-in for most of the film.
There was a middle management.
There was a guy
Dracula.
we thought was Dracula, and then it was just a twist to be like, no, this guy is Dracula.
He was like a floor manager.
Yeah, or a surrogate, a Dracula surrogate. It's like when Obama couldn't make it out on the trail, so they'd send Joe every now and then. And now look at him. He's the president. So...
And Joe Biden...
Kanefsky...
Barack Obama has a production deal with Netflix.
Real role reversal, eh? Real fall from grace.
Yeah, remember all the movies that Joe Biden made when he was vice president from his production deal with Netflix?
Yeah.
That was so good.
Kanefsky's directed 15 of his own films. I don't know how many Joe Biden has.
14.
Yeah, I think it is 14. And he's written on several others. So the main thing I wanted to get to is Kanefsky, the guy who made this movie. His first ever film was a comedy horror, and it was called There's Nothing Out There. And it was a parody of horror films. And one of the lead characters was a guy called Mike, and he had seen every horror movie ever made. Big fan. So he found himself in a set of circumstances that were unfolding like a horror movie, but he knew all the rules.
Yeah.
So he was like circumventing all the bullshit that normally catches them out, like running up the stairs when the murderer's chasing you and stuff. Now, here's the thing about that. That is very similar to the character of Randy in Scream, right?
Yeah.
Randy knows all the shit.
Yeah.
So it kind of like he dodges,
Yeah.
the murders. But There's Nothing Out There came out in 1989. So it predates Scream by like, what is that, 5 years or so? When did Scream?
95, I think, so 6 years.
6 years.
That is incredible because also that predates, that is like a really, it sounds quite played out as a premise for a film now. And I know that there would have been parody films in 1989. I just wasn't abreast with all of them. But that's quite a cunning and brilliant device to sort of have a lot of fun with the genre that you obviously love. You've imbued your love onto the lead character. And you can play around with all of the tropes that you've come to know so well.
Kanefsky directed this film when he was 20.
What were the notes on the film? People like it?
Let me check the reception.
People didn't know about it.
Tom Becker of DVD Verdict, which as we all know is the authority on cinema critique and analysis, Tom Becker concluded in his review for DVD Verdict. DVD Verdict is such a good name for a review website.
Yeah, that won't age.
DVD Verdict. He said in his review, a cool if slightly loquacious release from Troma. There's Nothing Out There as a fun little film that's worth checking out. I don't know who Troma is. Oh, maybe that's the production house or something.
So it sounds positive for a first release.
A review in Video Hound's Cult Flicks and Trash Picks said, this is in their review, in general, this no-budget parody of screen schlock is barely better than the dreck it imitates. So I would call that a mixed critical reception.
And that would be generous.
But it's all about the premise, because like I'm on the Wikipedia page for that movie itself, for There's Nothing Out There. $350K budget, so that's very small. But when you're 20, it's a lot of money. The film satirizes horror films. And so this is literally under the production segment of the wiki page. The first fact is that he was 20 years old. The second fact, the film satirizes horror films 5 years before Scream would be released.
Oh, wow.
It's very defensively written.
Sounds like someone's been in there mucking around with the paragraphs.
I'd say so. Old Rolfe. So the crazy thing is, Rolfe, he was born in 69. So of course he'd do this film.
Very nice.
But that means he's only 51 now, right? 52?
Nice. 62.
Oh.
59, 40 plus 20 is 60. Yeah, 62. Are you doing maths? What are you looking at?
Trying to.
I just did it for you. It's 2020.
He's 52. He was born in 69.
Oh,
he's 52
69.
years
Yeah,
old.
sorry. I thought you said 59 for some reason.
Why would that be nice? What would be nice about 59?
It's a great year.
Guy.
What? Born right before the swinging 60s?
Oh, Guy. What else can I tell you about this movie? I fucking hated it. I can tell you that.
Tim hated it. Tim had a really bad attitude. He was very negative towards the movie and everyone in the room the whole time.
Came out in 2004, which was, this movie's very of its time in a lot of ways. It's got that 2004 look and feel where everyone started filming on 720p digital cameras. So everyone was like, it's high def, baby. And it's like, wait, why does everything look like a soap opera now? And the dress sense is very noughties as well. There's a lot of chokers.
But it's noughties gothic.
Smoky.
So what would happen is
makeup.
The middle management Dracula would pick off the woman of the bachelorette party one by one, and he would have sex with them or just use mind control. And then when they were in the throes of passion, he would nibble on their necks. And yea, verily, they would become vampires. And when they were vampires, they would then be transformed. They would wear heavy eye makeup, have a lot of hair product in, chokers, the lot.
Guy and I swore black and blue that the guy who plays the sort of minion Dracula, who's Dracula for most of the film, but then turns out not to be Dracula, that he was a magician, like a real life magician, because he does a lot of the fucking hand stuff. There's a particular way of confidence speaking And when I say confidence, I almost mean it in the context of like a con man.
Well, it's the genesis of con man, right? It's all a confidence trick.
Correct. Marcus DeUnder is his name.
And he would explain to the woman, when he was going to do mind control, he'd explain how it was all working in a very sort of sinister magician way. And if we've got any fans who are magicians, all power to you. Way to apply yourself and learn a skill. But also...
Stop. I thought it wasn't in his IMDb, but actually it's the first credit. So I think this might have been his first film at like credit as an actor. But this dude has gone on to do a lot. 13 Reasons on Netflix. That was on Netflix, eh? Mm-hmm. 13 Reasons Why. MacGyver, which I did not know that they rebooted MacGyver like 5 years ago. He's in NCIS LA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the dude's been mucking in.
Well, it's a shame that he didn't get to say what I thought was a guaranteed line for the movie.
What's that?
I want to make you come.
It would have been great. Would have been really great.
Hello, Emmanuelle. It is me, Dracula.
Well, if we're going to start fucking around with crossover properties, Emmanuelle on Sesame Street. Why not?
Yeah.
She meets Big Bird, opens his eyes to the possibilities of exploring his sexuality.
Big Bird doesn't have a cock, but if he figured out how to use that giant fucking beak of his, he could show a lot of people a very good time.
Yeah, you'd have to be careful though. It feels like a thin line, a thin yellow line between injury and ecstasy with Big Bird.
Top 5 fuckable Sesame Street puppets. Go.
Oscar the Grouch.
Number 1.
This is in no particular order, but they're all in there. Snuffleupagus.
No, I need the name, and then I need one just a sentence on why.
Well, Oscar the Grouch. If you've got low self-esteem, you're feeling bad about yourself, and you want to have like a pity fuck with someone who lives in a dumpster, that's where you go.
So dire.
Big Bird. Generous, huge, inventive, very joyful.
And also, I feel like open to direction. I feel like if you're doing something big,
I actually don't. I think he's one of those guys when the door handle shuts, he's in charge. Things flip a little bit. Snuffleupagus at 3rd position on this top 5. Snuffleupagus, he's dependable and he's a little bit freaky, but he's not too freaky.
Yeah.
Genuinely struggling to remember some more Sesame Street characters. I guess Bert and Ernie are on the scene.
You don't get them individually; they come as a pair.
They're absolutely a pair. They're one sexual entity.
And what appeals to you about Bert and Ernie?
There's 2 of them, isn't there?
Yeah,
so they can do a lot of fun things.
You like the idea of DP with Bert and Ernie?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then who else is on the street?
Elmo, the Cookie Monster,
I'm not
the Count.
I'm not bringing Elmo
Rover.
into our sordid affairs. Wait, what were the other ones you said? Cookie Monster, number 1, with a bullet. That's what he's saying when he keeps, it's just a euphemism. He loves munching cookies. He'll do anything for a cookie. He's Limp Bizkit, baby.
He does it all for the cookie.
Yes. 100%. So he's thirsty as fuck. Cookie Monster, man. He wants it. So I think Emmanuelle shows up and people get quite freaked out by her because she doesn't sort of match the usual tone of
hey, hold on, there's someone at the door. Street. Come in. I feel like I should be here for this.
Oh, okay. George?
Yeah.
I got an idea for you.
Yeah.
Emmanuelle on Sesame Street. So Emmanuelle comes in, and I'm going to pick the Holly Sampson Emmanuelle for this. She's still kicking around. Mm-hmm. She's got an Instagram account. I think we could get in touch with her, and as long as we can convince Jim Henson's production studio. Is that who makes Sesame Street? I don't know who makes it. Oh no, it's that kid's PBS. Oh no, wait, they sold it. Oh fuck, I don't know. Whoever runs Sesame Street these days, we'll get in touch with them. Send them an Instagram DM as well. Maybe we'll make it a group chat. So the idea is,
you're going to make it a group chat with Holly Sampson and Sesame Street.
Whoever runs Sesame Street.
From whose account?
Mine.
Fantastic.
So Emmanuelle shows up on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And she fucks her way through Timbat's top 5 top fucks on Sesame Street.
This sounds magical.
Yeah, it's really good. And interestingly, the only roadblock she hits is Bert and Ernie, who are not into her at all. So they sort of have to have a chat about that because she's quite hurt because Emmanuelle is so used to being the object of desire for every person that she comes across.
Intriguing.
And so this is kind of like the first time she's had to eat her beans, so to speak. Have you heard that turn of phrase before?
No, what
Eat
does
your
it mean?
beans. It's sort of like eat humble pie would be another way of saying it. I guess experience humility. Be humbled. She's being humbled in the arena. That
Have some bean pie.
Yep. I guess that sounds gross. Bean pie.
Yeah.
That's so weird. What kind of beans would be in it? Like baked beans.
One of every bean.
One of every kind of bean. Pintos.
Baked, kidney.
That's all of them.
Jelly.
Jelly
Pinto.
Jelly beans. Yep, that is a bean.
Refried.
So Emmanuelle and Bert and Ernie actually don't fuck ultimately, but
Where
they
is
do,
it?
they masturbate in the same room together.
All three of them.
Yes.
Simultaneously.
That's how they sort of negotiate their way through.
I really like that.
Yeah, and
I've got to say, I've been stopping by a while.
Yeah.
Nothing's quite taken my fancy like what you're describing so far.
Sesame Street Emmanuelle.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate crossover event.
We're going to need to get those DMs out there.
Yeah, big time. Big time. I think it would inject a bit of relevancy into both franchises, weirdly. You know, like I think it's beneficial for both.
I think Sesame Street's doing okay.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's on the wane. I think they sold themselves to like Netflix or something.
Come and play, everything's hey-okay.
George, I didn't realize you had such a beautiful singing voice. You should do the theme for this movie. In fact, we could just. I think I'm recording this conversation.
Oh,
I'll just cut that.
okay.
I'll put that on. Get someone to master it. Put some instrumentation behind it, and we're done.
Watch Emmanuelle fuck the street. Can you show me how you come on Sesame Street? Bert and Ernie masturbating one by one in a bathtub that's full of cum. Can you show George Lazenby how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street.
All right, nice to see you, George.
Really nice to see you.
Don't forget your hat.
Bye, boys.
Something fucking sinister about that guy, and that is coming from the mouth of a guy who just pitched a Sesame Street Emmanuelle crossover porno.
I don't mind him. I feel like it's probably more important for him than it is for us at the moment to get in and have those chats.
Yeah, I just hope that we could sort of jump on the grenade and he's not exposing his dark energy elsewhere. But it's a fine line between enabling the guy and letting him vent so he doesn't have to do it
I
to
just
someone
can't
else.
get the idea of sort of this Emmanuelle Sesame Street crossover happening and then George Lazenby kicking in a door with the top of his boner poking out of the collar of his shirt.
I reckon he'd get a producer credit. He seems pretty enthused, and I think he's still got some of that
I think he's
convention.
he's still got some
Bond
money.
convention
Yeah,
money coming in.
it's fantastic.
What is your shining light?
That's a great.
Really abandoned that segment for the Emmanuelle series by and large. But what was your shining light of this movie? Which we have talked about not very much, and I don't want to either.
We've done all right. I think this. I'm trying to remember anything in particular. The sort of close up magic element of the middle management Dracula was really nice, and I think when he first arrives at the house, and we know it's Emmanuelle versus Dracula, so we know there's something up with this guy, and all of these women who they call themselves a coven. They're old university friends, all the attendees of the bachelorette party, and they sort of all quite horny, and also all quite down on the concept of marriage. He arrives.
Well, no, one of them's been married for 4 years and says that she absolutely loves it.
Yeah, because she's got a new friend, Walter.
And Walter is the vibrator.
Yeah, Walter never gets tired if I just change his batteries. And then one of the women is disgusted by the idea of using a vibrator.
Yeah.
And then, anyway,
I think they needed to explore that more, to be honest, because it seemed like she was repulsed by the idea of
sex and sexuality.
Vaginally inserting anything, including a penis.
And then Dracula
Which is all G, but it seemed like something
a bigger conversation.
Well, it was a surprise for all of the gals. And, this woman seemed singularly repulsed, so I think maybe they could have talked that out.
It's difficult, isn't it? If you're at a friend's bachelorette party and you're going through something, or you sort of unearth a topic of conversation that you've never really opened up about before, and
turns out one of you's asexual, and that's where you find out.
And you really want to have that conversation, but also it does feel a little bit like you're stealing the thunder from.
Yeah, it's like wearing white on someone else's wedding day, turning up to a bachelorette party and being ace.
So that first bit, don't wear white on a.
Oh shit! What did I say? It's someone's
so
wedding day.
To wear white on a wedding day?
Yeah.
Oh. I went to a wedding last week.
Yeah, what'd you wear?
It's not important.
You dumb fuck. Did you wear white? Did you wear a bone white suit?
Yeah.
That would actually be killer.
I wore a bone white suit.
Yes.
Shirtless.
Huh.
And I had mime makeup on my face.
Your mime makeup on.
Yeah.
Bold choice.
Yeah. It didn't go down well, but maybe for different reasons.
There was a photo knocking around online very recently of a mother-in-law who came in a white dress to her son's wedding. And usually I don't care for that sort of internet fodder that gets shared among the boomers on Facebook. But I tell you what, I was very tickled by that whole situation and just having a bit of a think about that poor woman who's married into this family's life.
What were people saying?
They were like, this is absolutely wretched. This is dog shit. What was funny as well about the photo is that she was in like quite elegant white wedding dress.
Yeah.
The mother-in-law was.
Yeah.
But the mother of the bride was in a real chill outfit.
Yeah.
Like it was a nice kind of skirt or something, but it wasn't.
A whole...
She had not only picked entirely the wrong color, but also had way overshot the sort of tone of the wedding.
You feel like you'd be pretty intimately knowledgeable about the tone of the wedding and
being a parent of
wedding etiquette.
One of the betrothed.
Weddings, it's crazy how at the wedding the fella, this is at a heteronormative wedding, but the fella's standing at the aisle, milling around, saying hi to everyone, and then
we must hide the woman.
Yes. What's with that?
They're a surprise. Like it's all the patriarchy, isn't it? You know,
people still love that.
It's that whole thing of like lifting the veil and whatnot.
It's the reveal.
Yeah, I think it's all tied in with virginity and how they used to
Be
bloody
virgins.
rate it. Yeah, which I think was mostly to do with people think that virginity was all. I mean, it kind of. Here's what I think happened. I think the church kind of took that over, that virginity value thing, because they were. It was more tied up with like land bequeathment in your succession line.
Virginity was.
Well, yeah, because like you have to have had no kids until you get married off to the guy. Because if you've got illegitimate children, they would have a claim on your titles, your land, whatever. So you got to keep everything very fucking controlled.
Right, and so that you can just
shit
cleanly hand it over to the guy.
To like your children who your parents planned out your, family tree kind of thing. You don't want to let people fuck that up and do what they want to do, because then you get some rando kids out there who are going to come for your title and your deeds and whatnot. I think that's what it's all about. So then the church just assisted the state with being like, yeah, everyone's got to be a virgin because God said. It's like, that's not it.
Incredible.
Fuck.
Well, all that to say, when Dracula...
wind me up.
When Dracula arrives and starts talking and they say, would you like to come in? And he sort of just handles himself really well. He does. He's got terrible sideburns and a horrible little trucker beard, but he's a classy guy. And they ask him in, he asks if he can use the phone. They ask him and they say, do you want a drink? And he said, I'm okay for now. And I just thought it set up the movie nicely. The way he handled it, the way he played it was really cool. And that was my shining light.
Yeah, we liked him.
Yeah.
We liked him when he came in. We said, this is
As tell you
cool
what,
character.
as soon as they let him in, it went.
started messing around.
It became bad.
Yes, that's true.
Sat down at the dinner table. Someone offered him some garlic bread. He said, "No, I never touched the stuff."
And we were like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Emmanuelle's garlic, because later on there are a couple of male strippers who show up and they get turned into vampires, and one of them is about to turn another one of the women into a vampire, and the woman picks up a piece of garlic bread and puts it on his face, and he
Dies?
evaporates.
Yeah. They evaporate into dry ice steam in this.
Pretty cool.
Carbon dioxide.
How would you handle a vampire?
Well, there's a good question. I think, what are we applying, just the sort of traditional rules?
Traditional vampire
Well,
rules
actually,
apply.
I floated this in while we were watching the movie. I think I would get a little bit creative because things like garlic, they're everywhere, man. You could get access to garlic. So say I'm trapped in a house. Chances are there's going to be either some fresh garlic or, that pottle that you have in the fridge of like crushed garlic. Pottle for your cooking. So get a bunch of garlic and like boil it up and then put that garlic water in a spray bottle and rock around with that.
Yeah.
It's a very like no fuss way of, you just kind of squirt it like you squirt a cat when it's up on the bench, and then they would have to avoid you a bit.
Much easier job cleaning up in the morning.
Or eat a shit ton of garlic so it starts coming out your pores of your skin.
Hey.
Or just rub a bunch of garlic on yourself.
Yeah. I think the spritz option is the tidiest.
Yeah, it's all external though. They could catch me unawares and off guard. Whereas if I wear the garlic, that's like
That's quite a classic, is a bunch of garlic strung up on a piece of twine.
I don't trust the cross thing that they reference in this film, and it's always a very messy, like, where is the line of what constitutes a Christian cross that's going to
They made some
them
thin
off.
crosses too.
Yeah, just out of some bread and some butter knives, some silverware.
It's just taped together.
They taped 2 butter knives together, and they were like,
This
you can't come near me. It's like, okay.
And the vampires were totally nonplussed.
Yeah,
They're like, I can come near you.
Yeah.
Missed an opportunity here. Interesting to think of a porno that is scored entirely by spooky music. Really, really difficult to come to that stuff. At one point, Tim said, I need this to stop being scored by minor chord panpipes.
Yeah. It was so upsetting. This is just awful. The tone was all off. It's very hard to get any kind of, not just arousal, but even in the fucking zone, even just to enjoy the movie, you know?
I liked the bit.
This guy's too attached to the idea of it being a horror movie. And it's like, what you're trying to do is make a porno with elements from Dracula. It's not like I'm going to make... And music is the worst element as well. At least there's something psychosexual about the visuals of horror. But they just took shitty, like, off-brand production music from a bad horror movie and scored the movie with this. It's a boner killer.
Think about it relative to Emmanuelle's Pie.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that Emmanuelle is having a lot of fun with itself now.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it is incredible to think of the journey that we've walked to come here, like from the sort of genuine erotica and like sort of high society European cinema that we were watching, the Sylvia Christel days of Emmanuelle.
A debutante on the silver screen.
Through like this transitional period with Lazenby and Emmanuelle sitting on the plane, sort of reminiscing on
Faded Glory.
conquests gone by.
That was the Emmanuelle Faded Glory series.
And then all the way through the Emmanuelle in Space, Emmanuelle 2000s, like we've been on a genuine journey. And then now I feel like the franchise itself, with respect to its self-awareness of this mid-2000s period, is like, okay, people know the Emmanuelle brand. They recognize that if we put the name Emmanuelle on it, they know roughly what they're going to be getting with respect to body parts and eroticism.
And so an accidental vagina in this one.
That's right. 2 accidental vaginas. And so now they're like, well, what can we do? I feel like we've established, our imprint on the franchise. We're enough removed from the European one that we don't have to worry about being faithful to that. Let's have some fun. And they're not always succeeding, but they're at least having a red hot go.
You're dead right. I love that they're trying, and they're very this was very strong because it had a definite look and feel.
Yeah.
Because it was Dracula. So they made all the women dress up in goth makeup.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I like that they were taking some swings for the fences. And they shot a lot of stuff to make this movie, to make this bad movie.
It's such a simple, also like it's a classic, simple premise, all set on one night film, which is like, you know, that's an enjoyable sort of genre. It's like,
if you do it right.
It's a classic end of high school super bad book smart style thing where it's like, we got one night to do this. And this was all like, there's a bachelorette party. The whole movie is set across the experience of one bachelorette party. And they did the classic fucking 5-year-old storytelling thing of closing it with essentially that was all a dream. As far as anyone except Emmanuelle.
Do you reckon we could make a pretty good porno at this stage, you and I?
Well, I think you described a pretty incredible porno not so long ago.
That's true.
Tim, I'm going to be honest with you. This experience has done nothing for my desire to create or consume more porn. I don't think that we could make a very good porno. I don't think this is very good. I don't think we're steeped in what makes quality porn by watching these films.
Yeah.
I mean, if
you can't get good at something by surrounding yourself with bad examples of the thing.
I mean, I guess on like a very rudimentary level, it's useful to know what to avoid or what bugbears that you carry with you from this franchise and all of the missteps that we believe, to our tastes, it has made.
I guess it would be like after the first season of this podcast, us being like, we can make an ensemble comedy because we've seen Grown Ups 2 so many times.
Yeah.
We know how to do it wrong 52 times, so I reckon we know exactly how to do it right.
Once. Do you genuinely think we could make a good porno?
Yeah, I think we're aware of a lot of the pitfalls now.
What are the pitfalls?
For the two of us, don't use spooky music, and if you're going to, make it just better. Don't make it that cheap synthy sound. Make it a cool one.
I think also where these movies have been going wrong is that...
show me a dick, first of all.
Yeah,
can I say that?
You're not wrong.
Show me one solitary penis.
Would be nice to see. I think we're not invested enough in these characters. If you're going to make a 90-minute porno, I really actually want to be like invested in the sexual chemistry and journey.
Absolutely. Because Emmanuelle in space, in retrospect, for me, might be a high watermark of this season. We had a really good actor portraying the character of Emmanuelle. We had a genuine 7-film arc. I mean, the guy playing Heffron, I don't know if I'd describe his acting as good per se, but it was very, consistent. He stayed being that kind of...
He was that guy. Undeniably.
Yeah, throughout the whole thing. And so at least you could sort of latch onto it, and there were, moments of comedy and levity and stuff which really helped as well. But they felt pretty competent. Mm. They were wild. Like, the premises were wild, which also added to the fun of it. It's like, wow.
Well, it was fun because it wasn't taking itself so seriously. And that's where some of these ones get confused, is it's like Emmanuelle's Pie was a comedy, but this one was, they sort of shot right through the middle of being a porn or a horror film.
Because the director, I think, he is like a horror film director.
Has presented us with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't achieve anything.
Looking in the mirror, not a boner inside. What's that? Just saying that there were no boners. Really? Tim?
Hey, boner inspector. No. But George Lazenby was here moments ago, and he was good to go. You would have loved it.
You got to see it. It's disgusting.
It is gross.
Wish I could.
It's gross for us, but I tell you what. Hang around after, if you could just wait outside for now.
Yeah.
We're done here. You expected us. And I'm going to see if I can coordinate a time to get you and George on.
That'd be lovely.
Because I just hate the fact that you guys keep missing each other.
Okay.
Okay, see you, boners.
Very well.
Bye.
Not even close for me this week.
At no stage. Oh, one thing that we haven't really mentioned very much, maybe we haven't, I've forgotten. Emmanuelle is really not in this film. The woman who plays Emmanuelle in this one, she's got an Eastern European accent, which is fun.
Yeah.
But she really doesn't feature until the end.
It's difficult because
you're focusing on the plight of everyone but her.
She is the most sus of all of the women at the bachelorette party. This guy arrives, and the movie opens. It has a cold open, which is set in Emmanuelle's subconscious. It shows us a dream that she has where she's having sex with a vampire, and then what do you know? The next day, she's at the bachelorette party, and the very same person from her dream arrives, who is this middle management vampire. And so the whole film, Emmanuelle's like, I've got a bad feeling about this guy. I'm not so sure about him. And all of the other women at the bachelorette party are horny and want to fuck him, and more or less do. And so the whole movie, Emmanuelle's role is pretty much walking around the house going, I got a bad feeling about this. I don't know about this guy. Oh no. And then eventually you get that lovely high stakes coitus at the end. But prior to that, you're just watching a beautiful blonde Eastern European woman worry about the livelihood of her friends.
Just worrying. Just a lot of worrying.
Pottering about the house. She actually, just reminiscing, then gave me a great memory of at the start of the movie, the Bachelorette is on the phone to Emmanuelle getting ready for the party that night, and she puts a big roast, or it's actually just a big unroasted chook in the oven to roast, and then she takes out a pre-prepared salad. It's the morning.
That's a good point.
This bachelorette party's not kicking off for about 8 hours, but she takes out a salad on like a silver serving tray.
She's prepared the salad before the chook has gone in the oven.
It's been refrigerating overnight. It is lettuce and 1 carrot cut into 3 pieces, and she drops it onto the rug, which is next to the fridge in the kitchen, picks it up, puts it back on the plate, and then just starts running it under the tap.
Why did they show us that? Because, I really thought that would make a comeback in terms of someone to get food poisoning or something. It's like, why would you spend time lingering the shot on this rinsing off of
well, but I tell you why,
lettuce?
actually. You've literally sitting on this moment for long enough, you've reminded me why. Because
Garlic?
the shot of the water running on the salad becomes a crossfade into bubbles being poured into a champagne flute.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't
It
justify
means
it being in
we're
there.
watching a film.
Oh, fuck. That's called a match cut.
Well, match me up with some more match cuts because it was beautiful. Triumph of cinema.
All right, listen. We've been talking for 36 minutes. I'm fucking done on Emmanuelle versus Dracula.
Fair enough.
Do you want to talk any more about it?
No, I want to talk about this. If you're listening and you're in New Zealand, buy a ticket to Auckland. And once you're in Auckland, make sure it's on Thursday, the 20th of May, because there can only be one, the best host of all time, our live show in a giant fucking room at 9 p.m. on Thursday, May 20, as I've said, is happening. Please come along. Tim and I will pit our wits and various other physicalities and mentalities against one another to finally decipher which of us is the superior host.
It's also streaming online, so no matter where you are, you can watch it. At the time of recording this, I haven't got a link up, but hopefully by the time the episode comes out, I will. So check the episode description notes for a link. You animals. I've also got a solo show. It's called Classy Warfare, happening in Auckland and Wellington. Only in New Zealand, no streaming there. Show's not good enough. Might be though.
Show's not good enough to stream. I think it will be.
Maybe it will.
I'm excited for this show, Tim. Your stand-up comedy is, I mean, I know that you're very busy at the moment, so you're probably not performing as much as you'd like, but when I see you perform, I think Tim's onto something here.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Just fucking keep hitting it.
Guy's show is called
ripping it.
Guy Montgomery by name, Guy Montgomery by nature, and it is also in both towns, Auckland and Wellington. You simply must attend.
That's right. It's a very Guy Montgomery heavy show. If anyone else says that they've got more Guy Montgomery per person in the show,
it would be incredible if they did, if someone pulled that off.
I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed if they pulled it off without my knowing about it.
Yes.
Because I'm Guy Montgomery.
Do you know the one person who I think could maybe do that?
You?
Tony Lyle.
How?
No, I don't know. Anyway, look, goodbye, and please don't watch Emmanuelle versus Dracula. I can't recommend it, and I also didn't give a shining light, but if I had to, it was the mutton chops on the guy with
incredible facial hair. I'd like to say this as well. I want you to, at the end of this, I want you to pause the podcast and wait until you're going to bed, and then I want this to be the last thing you hear tonight before you fall asleep. I want to make you come. Tim hated that.
It was grim.